Yeah.
and book some farmers I'm going to connect you up with in
Yeah.
San Diego. And I'm going to
Beautiful.
go down to San Diego. We're going to follow up. So she's going to ask you about the what is it called? With
Dude,
your
there's two things.
coalition.
What do you guys want to talk about? Let's talk about
Health
either
coalition.
plant in paradise everywhere for our biggest problems, or let's
Whoa,
talk
whoa,
about
slow
getting.
down, slow down. You're talking fast. Tell me again.
Wait.
You're already
Hold
rolling,
on a
so
second. I'm the director for right now. Listen to me. Sorry.
Tell me.
You're gonna take my cue from me
Yeah.
because I'm looking at what the big.
we're behind the scenes right now as they talk about what we're gonna.
Just take a breath. It's no big deal.
So we're here in D.C. at the Rescue the Republic, the Washington Monument in the background.
But it's good. So she's gonna ask you, but why are you here? You're here for the health revolution.
Kind of what we do, prepping when you're meeting people and
Here around the
trying to make sure you get their message correct.
and then she goes, then she'll say, what got you into this? And she'll talk about, you tell her about glyphosate. Okay?
Okay.
That's
I love
simple. Keep it really simple.
Tell me your name one more time.
My name is Johnny. Johnny Giles.
Okay.
Nice to meet
Take
you.
our border back. Take one.
Hey, this is Kim Yater from the Take Your Power Back show and Take Our Border Back. I am here with Johnny Kennedy 2024. Johnny, we are here at Rescue the Republic. Why is it important for you to be here right now and put a stake in the ground?
I tell you, we got to get the poison out of our food and water, and nobody's talking about that. I love this movement for bringing up this issue, and we're the sickest country on the planet. We got to address that right now. You know, Europe, they're living 6 years longer than us, and nobody's talking about it. We got 24 diseases
Wow.
going parabolic, and it's a healthcare crisis. It is a state of emergency. It's a literal holocaust, and I don't use that word lightly. So
Well, let me ask you, talking about health, why is our health so vital?
what's more important than the health of us and our loved ones? You know, we don't have anything if we don't have our health. We trade everything we got to get a loved one off their deathbed, and that's where we're at. It's being everything that matters is being taken from us. It's not just our lives, but it's our liberties. So
Yes.
they're trying to take our constitutional rights to protest. The Fifth Amendment right now. This is a liability shield. Monsanto is pushing right now to take away our right to due process, and this is just like they did with vaccines. They want to shield.
Interesting.
When they harm us from pesticides, they want to just be able to keep profiting off of us and not allow us to step up and speak out for our loved ones when we're losing them due to they're just.
Okay, so tell me, what's the impact if that Fifth Amendment is taken from us?
The impact is we can't take them to court when they harm us and our loved ones, our children, and it's amazing. The 10th Amendment, they're also going after. This is our states' rights, our local rights. We banned their poisons in dozens of counties just in my state,
Yeah.
and they want to take that from us, and it's unbelievable. They've captured our government, they captured the EPA, and so now everything they've done there, they want to continue to just roll out, take our
Interesting.
sovereignty.
Got it. So it's so interesting. The EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, people will go to the EPA. They are like the gods of the industry. Did the EPA say it is okay? So a big misnomer there, yes?
The EPA just got beat in the courtroom. 7 years coming this lawsuit concerning fluoride. This was a big victory, and yeah,
Mm.
98.
Fluoride in your toothpaste, in your mouthwash, and then you've got this pineal gland. But go on. I want to
Well,
hear
it's
more.
it's in our drinking water. This is the craziest
It's
thing.
in our
So
water.
it's in our water, and so when you boil some water, it doesn't come out. It accrues towards the bottom, and this doesn't come out of our body. We can't detox it, and it does toxify the pineal gland, which is for our hormones. So we got endocrine disruption, and we're calcifying our pineal gland. This is why we have a fertility crisis. Men don't have the testosterone we should. Women don't have the estrogen. We're a sick, broken, dying country, and we got to change that.
And are you saying that this is all because of what's in the water?
Fluoride's not helping. There's we're swimming in poison, but there's big culprits, and for safe food, we gotta get there's glyphosate sprayed on our grains and beans, and this is the low-hanging fruit. If we could make
Yeah.
one change
Yeah.
tomorrow that would do the most good, it
Yeah.
would be banning the use of glyphosate on our crops at harvest. They're spraying it on our grain.
Yeah.
This is why when people say they're gluten intolerant, it's a glyphosate intolerance. This stuff is an antibiotic, it's a carcinogen, it's an endocrine disruptor, and it chelates our nutrients. So we're malnourished, and there's a 24 plus pathologies going parabolic, all in tandem. Kennedy is one of many, many who have pointed this out. and there's one culprit. It's glyphosate, and we
Wow.
got to quit spraying it on our food at harvest. That will alleviate 80% of the exposure that we're exposed to. So
Well, what can we, the people, do? The American people, what can we do to take our power back in this area?
we need to demand the no more spray on our on our food at
Okay.
harvest. No more on our grains. No more on our beans. This is like putting salt on our food before we eat,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
just poison. Right now, they're coming after the farm bill. They're putting this legislation to take our constitutional rights. We have to demand no to this farm bill.
Okay, so we
need
can actually vote no on the farm bill.
we need to demand that our congressmen don't allow this farm bill to be passed in 2024.
So
There's a
what-
provision in there that we
okay.
need to talk about, and it's 10204, and among a couple others. And they're really trying to take our rights in the courtroom from us, so they can keep profiting off us with reckless abandon. And we just
So
see
do we call our congressmen? Do we write our legislators? What?
Write your
like, we
legislator,
want to know
call
what
your
to do.
congressman, and
Okay.
tell them,
Yes.
say no to this farm bill and get the poison out of our food. Ban
Okay.
this as a desiccant, and do not give them a liability shield. They're using 5 times the vaccines they used to before they got their liability shield,
Wow.
and look what they've done.
Well, listen, I have 4 kids and I have a brand new grandbaby, and I'm so excited. I want him to have a future. I want him to be healthy. I don't want us to live sick. So this is really important. This impacts everybody.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for what you're doing. I appreciate it. You're about
Thank
to go on
you.
stage, yes?
We'll see you in a little bit here.
You're a warrior.
About schools and processed food and school systems.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is a really great question. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, I want to thank you for just being with me right now.
Of course.
I know that your mind is focused on being on stage, and I want you to know that God is going to give you the exact words to share.
Right.
He's already placed it in you.
That's right.
Okay, and your unconscious mind remembers everything for its good.
I love that.
Okay.
Yeah. Amen, sister.
Let's talk about our schools. Now, I remember the peanut butter cookies. I remember the mashed potatoes and gravy. I remember the turkey. I remember loving my school meals when I was a little girl. I have a feeling they're not the same.
It's incredible. So the biggest purveyor of toxicity is the school system right now. We have a broken food supply, and it's filled with poison. None of the flour is safe to eat, hardly. It's got this glyphosate in it, and it's getting dispersed most to our kids. This is the number one producer of it, or source of it. Yeah. I don't know that it's not something I'm used to saying. So it's the number one distributor.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is an issue because the school system is the number one distributor of this poison, and the kids are the most vulnerable to this. They're getting the brunt of this, and so their hormones. Imagine how hard it is to go through adolescence for so many people.
Yeah.
This stuff is an endocrine disruptor, disrupting their hormones. They're not used to them firing anyways. And then we have.
Well, how does that show up? Like, tell me how that. Like, I've got a little guy that's 9,
Yeah.
10 years old.
Right.
How does that show up?
Well, we're seeing it show up as far as ADD. We're seeing
wow.
the gender
ADHD,
dysphoria. Can you
yes,
imagine?
yes.
And all of these things. So it's just obesity, diabetes. We're getting autism, of course, Alzheimer's, dementia, cancers.
Wow.
All of these have been associated with this increased use in glyphosate. It's in lockstep. So especially with autism. So since we started using glyphosate, you can see on the chart the correlation. Now this doesn't prove causation, but it's your biggest clue. It's a 0.997 R value. That's incredible. You never see that in nature. This is off the charts, and we're seeing that as we spray more glyphosate, our kids have more autism.
Okay, so let me ask you this: glyphosate.
Yeah.
This just might be an out there question, but what's in my head is Roundup.
That's exactly it. That's the trade name for glyphosate. It's Roundup.
Okay,
it's
so
an herbicide.
Are you
and-
kidding me? It's
Right.
Roundup.
Yeah.
So Roundup is in our kids' foods.
Roundup is in the Cheerios. Yeah, exactly.
It's in the Cheerios,
Roundup is in the Cheerios, and this
which
kills.
is supposed to be good for your heart.
It kills everything green. Glyphosate does, right? It's
Yes.
they use it as an herbicide.
Yeah.
And it's also registered as an antibiotic, right? You don't want to take a course of antibiotics if you don't have to.
Absolutely not.
Right, so this is messing up our gut lining. This is messing up our digestion, our whole
Yes.
microbiome.
And that impacts your thinking, your microbiome, right? All of that.
It gives us leaky gut. It also gives us leaky brain. So toxins
that
are getting into
fog,
into our bloodstream that
Yeah.
shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
They're getting into our brain. They shouldn't even be in our blood. This is just it's unbelievable
so
how
let me
bad
just
this stuff
ask you,
is.
here, we're just going to go out there right now. Why on earth would they do this? I mean, they got to know this is
They're
going
making-
on. Why would they do this?
They're making $12 billion a year in profit every year off of this poison. We're using 3 pounds per person per American in this country. 1 billion pounds per year. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. It's in the rain. It's in 75% of the air and the rain. Some experts believe. So, can you imagine we're breathing an antibiotic? Like
That's absolutely
that's
crazy.
anti-life, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's go deeper. Let's talk about the spiritual level here. You're my brother in Christ.
Amen.
Have a
sister.
good sense. So let's talk about this. Like,
Yeah.
why would someone really do this? What's the bigger agenda on the human being, not human doing,
Listen.
human being?
You know what? They're chasing profits. I like to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're malicious at their core. I don't know. But either way, we just have to say no.
All right. So what we can do?
We
Okay, let me lead you. Let me lead you. Let me lead you. Okay, so listen, we talked about ADD, we talked
Yeah.
about ADHD, we talked about endocrine interrupters, or what
Yeah.
are they called?
endocrine disruptors. Exactly. Yep.
Endocrine disruptors.
Yep.
What else is the impact of these kids?
This stuff, like I said, it chelates the nutrients, right? So it's locking up our manganese.
Did you say it chelates the
It
nutrients?
it chelates all these minerals, these nutrients that we need. So just imagine it messes up everything with
Well,
the body.
chelation is free radicals. So that causes inflammation in the body, which leads to aging and dis-ease. So you're doing that to kids. Not
They're-
you, but they're doing that to kids.
We're seeing all of the worst health conditions go parabolic in tandem, and yeah, it's happening to all of us, especially the kids, especially our children. They're getting the brunt of it, and yeah, we're seeing the obesity. Is it in the
And
diabetes?
The obesity.
It's off the charts, isn't it? So this also
Yes.
also causes autoimmune diseases, cancers, different kinds of cancers.
Yes.
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is what they got them for.
Yes.
About Roundup, you mentioned Roundup.
Yeah.
That was 6 years ago. For $12 billion, Kennedy, beat Monsanto in the courtroom. And a lot of us
Amazing.
thought, okay, we're going to get this poison out of our food. This is
Mhm.
going to be a great help. We haven't seen that. We're using more of this poison. It's incredible.
So how did Kennedy beat him in the courtroom and the guy's still doing the same thing?
It's wild. The guy, to be fair, he got a lot of glyphosate on him, but he had a lot of health issues. He almost died. Okay, and
Yeah.
we see that, that kind of proved the point. We've had, I think there's 250,000 cases still outstanding on this issue
Okay.
of just how Monsanto's glyphosate is causing non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Okay, it's
So
also
are they seeing that in kids though?
all right. The kids, I don't got a great answer for the kids, right? I touched on the autism, the ADD, ADHD. I touched on the obesity and the diabetes.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. So I'm a mom.
Yeah.
What can I do? So I know that I can call Congress, or
Yeah.
I mean that seems so hard. Like oh my gosh, Congress. Like how do you call Congress? Like I
Yeah.
can look up my Congress, my legislators, all of that, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like such a big thing for the public to do. Like, don't we put elected officials in place to do that work for us, so that we don't have to do that work?
It's like, just please quit poisoning us. Is that so much to ask? Like,
Can't we
how
just
can
keep
this
it
be
simple?
happening? Is
I
this
know.
this is
That's
unbelievable.
it. We just want the poisoning to stop.
Just please quit poisoning our children. Is that too much to ask? You're right. These are our public representatives, and it's such a betrayal because they're taking our tax dollars and then they're selling us out.
Yeah.
So they're making a living off of our dollars, and then they're making a killing, and they're literally killing us when they sell us out to Big Poison. And that's exactly who they are.
This is wicked. All right. So listen, I just want to thank you for sharing everything that you shared today.
Of course.
You're a warrior.
All
And
right.
so for me as a mom, what I can do
Yeah.
and what we the people can do is we can reach out to Congress.
Yeah.
We can reach out to the legislature and we can vote no. But even before that bill gets there, we're going to not let that happen.
I got one more thing.
All right. Tell me.
We can get the poison out of our food and water by growing our own and supporting those who do in our local communities. This is who we've always been. This is who we always are across all of our cultures, across millennia. We've been growing our food ourselves. And we can grow not just our food, but our medicine, our building
Yes.
materials, our fuel, everything we need to thrive. And this gives us freedom. This gives us independence. This gives us sovereignty from the bad guys. They want to tell us what to do. If we're self-reliant,
Yes.
we don't need them.
Oh
we
my
don't need
gosh.
them. Isn't that beautiful?
I love what you're saying, because isn't it really going back to the basics?
Yeah.
Putting God back in his rightful place. Going back to the earth.
Tend the
when
garden
he's
and keep
given
it. The
us.
first page
Tend
of the good book.
garden and keep it. That's
Tend the garden
so
and keep it.
Good.
What did you say? The parable of the sower, the parable of the good
Yes.
shepherd.
Yes.
With our favorite plants and animals, we provide everything we need. We can
Yes.
be completely sovereign, independent from the toxic, exploitive, destructive consumerism.
And our sovereignty comes from
Our sovereignty comes from God and Jesus and
That's
His
right.
divine design. And
That's
amen
right.
to that. Thank you
That's
so
right.
much for that.
Yeah, so good.
What a
Well, I
legend.
appreciate you so much. I'm looking forward to talking more. God bless you.
Likewise.
You've got this on stage. Go get 'em.
All right, all right.
Cut. You killed it.
You did
Okay,
great.
still live?
Thank you.
Okay. Good work. So you guys are officially cast. You're hired. And,
Love it.
We got the chief cameraman right here.
All right.
We're gonna have some students doing like multiple cameras. I have 4 Black Magic.
Great work.
Thank you. So this could be our first. This is our first production meeting.
That is good.